Hi, welcome to Shelly Studio. Today I'm working on my 100-day project, or at least I'm doing the editing for it. I think I said that in the last video. I will have a playlist. If you're curious about past ones and you haven't seen them, you could check that out on my channel. But this is day 16. I can't believe I'm up to 16. Actually, in real time, I'm up to 21 when I'm editing this. Which will come out by the time I'm like on 50 or something. I don't know. But this particular image was inspired by a photo I took in American Fork. It had been raining and it was early in the morning. I was on my way to work. I can't believe I still have this in my camera because I haven't had to drive to work since 2019. But anyway, so it's just a little scene. I took out the mountains that would have been in the background. I have mountains all around me, so yeah, I just wanted it kind of simple. I'm using a piece of scrapbook paper that has a little bit of image for the sky. Trying to do it all monochromatic this time. Just thought that would be kind of fun. And I've got to add a little bit of pen just to make it a little bit more interesting. I did put the houses, they're behind the trees, but there's trees all up and down the street. So that's why they're in front of the houses. Well, plus they're little squares cut out of paper, so they're not the best looking houses. Anyway, I think you don't see, I take a little fluorescent yellow and put it in the sky, gives it more of a glow. Not sure if I like it before or after. I guess I kind of like it with the yellow glow. You can give me your opinion. The photo at the end has the yellow, yeah, even though you don't see me put that on there. Here I'm just using some Stabilo to create a little shading on the road so it looks like a road, and around the trees and the hills in the background. And I tried to, I think I put a little bit more on the sky, trying to make it look a little darker at the top of the sky because that's how it looked in the photo. The sun was just kind of creeping up from the horizon, so the top of the sky was dark. And the horizon, technically, the top of the mountains were glowing. See, there's the little hint of yellow. What do you think? Do you like the yellow? I don't know. It's over paper, so it's not fixable. Alright, so this next one is day 17, and this is actually River Park in South Jordan, and this is near where I used to work, where my office was. I'm still working. I'm just working from home, which I enjoy not having to drive, especially in the wintertime. And it's saving me on gas money. I don't have to fill up on gas more than once every couple of weeks now. It's really great. I get a little sticker shock when I go out there and buy it too, because it's so darn expensive. It's going up again for the summer, I guess. So, outside of my office, you can walk over to River Park. It's the Jordan River in Utah, and there's a walkway that goes all the way along the Jordan River. It's a long ways. It's miles and miles and miles. But I just would, on my breaks, I would say, okay, I got a 10-minute break. I'm going to go out as far as I can for 5 minutes and then turn around and come back. And so I always ended up out at the river and walking along that pathway. And yeah, so this is from a picture of that. And stylized, of course, and using my painty papers. And those Those are supposed to be hills in the background, but they kind of look like office buildings. There were a lot of office buildings, but they were, from this perspective, they were behind me, not in front of me. But yeah, I really liked how this one turned out. This one is one of my favorites, and it's kind of, I don't know, kind of seems a little whimsical-y. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the weird patterns on the papers. And I made the trees blue because I didn't have any green scraps or green scraps that I wanted to use, so I think blue trees work. And again, I'm adding Stabilo because I like to have a little bit of shading in there. I don't want just flat pieces of paper. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I'm adding something. Usually Stabilo. And it lightens quite a bit once it's dry. So it looks dark, but when you see the picture, see it's so much lighter. Yeah. And I have two little birds in the sky. Alright, so this next one is day 18, and I couldn't find too much blue. I've dug. Like I had to get a full sheet of some blue painty paper since I made this because I need more blue. I have lots of skies. If I'm doing landscapes, I need blue and I need green and brown. I mean, those are the colors I need. So I found me some more blue, but this particular landscape is Moon Lake in Utah. So it's taken from a picture I took a few years ago when we were up there. They had all of their boats sitting out in the sand, pulled up from the water, and I was trying to represent that. And yeah, so it's just I don't know, I think it's a cute little landscape. And the hills there are covered with pine trees, so they needed to be green. So they were actually a dark green, but I went for this green because, like I said, I'm running out of green and blue. And I don't know if I have a lot of brown or not. Yeah, I have some brown. But it's called Moon Lake because the lake is shaped like a moon, and it goes around the bend of that hill that I just glued on there and makes kind of a curve. So it kind of looks like a moon. I think they're exaggerating, you know. You got to let your imagination, when you're looking at it from an aerial view, it takes a little bit of imagination. So this blue doesn't quite fit across, but we'll just patch it together and make it work. I think it blends really well, actually. You probably won't even notice. And I accidentally tore the corner, so I'm gluing that down. Because I want to get it to go all the way across. But close up, I don't think you can really tell that those are two pieces patched there. And then this piece that I'm using for the sand has some scripting. I've used it in a previous one. I think it's Tim Holtz packaging paper. I just split it from the card it was on so I could use the glue stick on it and not have it be too thick. And here I decide, oh, I need more blue. I had to peel that back a little bit. Stick a little bit of blue underneath there. There we go. That piece you can tell that it's a little different because it's got white on it. More patching. You'd think I'd have papers that are 3 inches across. That's what this, the size of the image is about 3 inches. Because the card I'm using is 4x4. So the image is about 3x3. And then here are my little boats. And they are done with cardstock, so they're a little bit thicker and they have a little bit of dimension on the page. You probably can't tell that, but in person you can tell. But I think this 100-day project is really fun. I don't know though, I think I'm running out of landscapes. I'm going to have to start Googling landscapes. I've gone through my New Zealand pictures. You know, I take pictures of buildings and close-up objects. I don't do farscapes. I have some, and you'll see some, but not very many that are easy to collage. Some with tons of trees, you know, but trees are hard, especially close-up trees. In fact, I think the next one, I have some palm trees, you'll see. They weren't too hard. That one wasn't too hard. So now I'm adding a little bit of ink, casting some shadows under those boats. And there it is. I guess you can tell they stick out a bit. So this next one, this is day 19, so this will be the last one on this video. Doing about 4 at a time. I may have to start publishing them more frequently than once or twice a week if I'm going to get them all published by the end of the 100 days. But so this one is Roatan. It's some beach in Roatan. Found some more blue paper, you see that? Got some blue and some turquoise. Got me a little island out there in the distance. And my sandy beaches. And I'm getting every scrap I can to cover my little beach. But if you are enjoying these 100-day projects, please let me know. Leave me a comment. Hit the like button. If you're doing it, let me know that too. Are you posting on Instagram? Are you using a hashtag? That'd be really fun to see what other people are doing. I watch the hashtag a little bit. There's so many though. But if you have your own unique hashtag, like mine is Margels 100 2023. So hashtag Margels 100 2023. If you wanted to check them out, or the Shelley Studio, I think my link tree is in the description box and it has my Instagram, so if you wanted to check that out, you could. And then you'd be caught up and you'd be like, oh, this is old. I've already seen this picture. Because I am posting them on Instagram on the day, well, I'm trying, I was behind a couple, on the day that they're supposed to be done. But, yeah, editing for YouTube takes a little bit longer. I try to edit them so that they aren't, because fiddling with the paper takes a long time. I actually sit down and compose it before I start filming, which for me is unusual. All my other art, I just do it on the fly. But for these, because you see tearing out these little strips and making the little papers look like palm trees takes a minute. I don't want you to have to sit through that. And that one's I've got this sped up and I look like I'm moving so slowly. I don't know why that feels so slow. Maybe I slowed it down rather than sped it up. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, I went on a cruise with my friend several years ago, and that's where this picture came from. I have quite a few with beaches and palm trees. But not too many that are easy to collage. Like simple and small, because, it's hard to do really, really small. Unless you have another opinion, at least for me. I feel like my fingers feel so big, when you're tearing those little teeny papers and you want them to curve a certain way. Alright, so there's the trunks of the palm trees, and now I just tore some green into sort of curvy triangular shapes to make it look like the palms on the tops of the trees. And they're just kind of poking into the picture from above. That's the intention. They look like they're all going one direction. They are, pretty much. and really in the picture they're just kind of way up off screen. I think the original picture might have a boat in the background. Probably the cruise ship I was on. I left that out. So I wasn't really looking at the trees when I was taking the picture. And of course, I've got to put some shading, give it a little bit of life. I was taking the wet brush to it, but I hadn't done anything yet. So we're taking the Stabilo All, we're going to shade one side of those trees. Give them dimension. Give them some weight on the bottom. And I think with the paintbrush I drag out some of the dark and make it look like there's a little bit of cast shadow. Yeah, I kind of like this one. It was fun, tropical. Yeah, here's where I put a little bit of shadow. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do the things. And if you just found my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. That always helps out my channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Oh yes, I put some little semblances of people out there in the water. Little dots. Apparently they're really far away. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Have an awesome day.